2020 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Mekhi Becton.
Going down again. That's Quinnen Williams.
Fighting through contact, fighting through offensive line, being a double team, multiple moves stacked into one, just a play of pure domination. This is actual film, it's actual football talk. It's a football show, we're supposed to talk football, not storylines.
Hello, and you are listening to another edition, the 42nd edition of Blitz. I feel like I should just start these shows with, okay, we got 10 games left. It's been really bad. I'm going to run through some plays again. Not going to be 4 hours, not going to be 3 hours, probably not even going to be 2 hours. I think last time I hit under 2 hours, which I feel like for a team who is 0-6 and is putting the product out that they are, again, only losing one game by less than double digits, right? Because the Broncos was their least margin of error, and I believe that was about 9 points. So I think they've only lost one game by not double digits, but still two scores or two possessions. So with a team who's going to be competitive, maybe I would even do more plays, or maybe a team. Listen, when the Jets are good, it's going to happen eventually. There's always bad teams, that become good for a couple of years. The Warriors, plenty of teams have done it. When the Jets are good, you guys are going to get like 7 hour shows. I'm excited to watch good film. This has been absolutely brutal. So I'm going to run through it pretty quick. The housekeeping, no reviews, drop those reviews again. I know it sucks right now. Not a lot of listeners stay around. Let's say if you're at 100% capacity or 100% of listens when week one starts, that drops to probably 25% now. I would say 1 out of 4 people have been listening who would if the Jets were winning. But like I said, drop those reviews, get a free t-shirt. GRB31 on Twitter. I've been posting threads there, like I've said in the past. The threads are of Becton, Fant, Bad Darnold, Good Darnold, Connor McGovern, Crowder, Jeff Smith, Barrios, Herndon, Perryman, Fadukasi, Quinnen Williams, John Franklin Myers, Bryce Huff, Terrell Basham, Austin, May, and Wesco. Which actually I have to edit that because I have a May play in here that I did not put into my queue to put up. So I have to put that in. Let's see. I'm going to do that right now so I don't forget. Is this great podcasting? No. Do I care? No. It's just how it is right now. So I got to put at least that one play of May in there. But I put the threads up there. So again, I go over them a lot in these shows, but this is where you can find all those players in one place. I put a little bit of a description. I don't go as descriptive as I do on here or as I do in my full player reviews. I try to make it in one tweet where I've had plays where I put up in 3 tweets because I can't describe everything in 240 characters or whatever the hell it is. So it's also a good reference point for talking to somebody. Hey, look, you said that Darnold didn't miss this throw against the Colts. Well, let me go to Blewett's Twitter page. Here it is. Send a link. People do that all the time. So there's your benefit. 39 plays today. I think last week we did like 52, so 39 today. Really, really short. In other Jets news, they traded McClendon for McClendon and a 2023 7th for a 2022 6th to the Bucks. They just traded Jordan Willis or Wills, whatever the hell his name is, for a 2021 7th, and they got another 6th in 2022 from whatever team they trade him to. I completely forget. It literally just happened, but they're moving up from the 7th to the 6th round, where if the Jets are still bad, they're trading him to good teams. It's going to be the difference between like 10, 15 picks. The Jets are literally just dumping salary and improving their draft position slightly. It's not like they're, getting, I would rather just get a straight up 7th for a guy and make it, a little bit more valuable. But this is what these players get you. It's not even a pick. It's moving up a couple of spots in the later rounds. So hopefully they package some of these picks and try to move up. Again, I'm going to run through this pretty quick. Shout out to the Broadway Jets podcast that had to be on. We had like a 30-ish minute discussion. A lot about Sam Darnold. Good dudes over there. So if you want to listen to that interview, go to Broadway Jets and listen to those guys. When I was on there, and when they had Sabo on, they had Nani on. Go check out their podcast if you want. Dolphins 24, Jets nothing. Again, somebody said like, oh, I love the show and I'm still always going to listen, but the life is getting sucked out of you. And it is. But like I said, the young guys, I'm watching those guys with Flacco, et cetera. Oh yeah. One more shout out. I don't know if the guy listens every week, but somebody from the academy, I'm not going to say their full name, but Kelly told me about somebody who mentioned my name. He's like, oh, I know that guy. So shout out to the person who knows the guy I do training with and stuff like that. So if he does still listen, the duds. Flacco is number 3, 21 for 44, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, 11.1 QBR. To be completely transparent, and I don't even care, I don't know the difference between, well, I know the difference between QBR and what's the other one? QBR and the other one where you can get the QBR I know is from like 0 to 100, and then the other one is from whatever to 158.3. I don't know why there's 2 different systems. I don't know how they look at those numbers. I don't know what gives out each one of those numbers, if it's air yards versus completion or yards per completion versus touchdown. I don't know, but 11 is not good. I can tell you that. And I would probably give him more of a dud if he was meaningful, but I don't want to go over 1,000 Joe Flacco plays because who cares? But I am going to go over a few just to show how bad he was this game because he was absolutely terrible. And again, it's not going to be a lot. It's going to be, I have like 5 plays of him because, again, who cares about Joe Flacco? But he was bad. And you can have some qualms with the play design here in terms of them being in a cover 2. You might just see a deep over to draw the safety a little bit so the deep safety doesn't get over of this route combination, which at the top is where Joe Flacco looks. This basically acts as a rub. It's going to make the corner stay high or go low. It's just putting him at a point of conflict, and he decides to go underneath, which gives Berrios room deep. Joe Flacco at this point needs to throw the ball. He's not going to be able to run with him deep at this point. He's going to have to go outside and underneath of this. He's going to be in trail, based on leverage. And this is the only thing you're reading that right at this point, he's going to be in trail. There's no way for him to not be in trail. So he should release the ball earlier. He throws it too late. He floats it up there and out of bounds. Now, did this play design work? Is Berrios open here? If he had good anticipation, yes, it is open. And him looking at this whole time should throw it now. This guy is not looking that way. He's completely locked on. It's not. You don't have a switch call. You don't have a Zorro call. Deep down the field, we're going to switch. So he needs to read leverages and understand that. Throw it a little bit earlier. He does not. Throws it out of bounds. Could have been an easy 20, 25-yard completion. Offensive line-wise, pretty good. Fant does a good job. 45-degree set, opens at the right time, gets hands-on, matches his guy. There is a guy off the edge that comes in, but there's plenty of time to throw this ball. And Flacco's uneasy in the pocket. I don't know if he sees this in his peripheral vision. I don't think so. So I don't know why he steps up the way he does. But even if he does see that guy, or if he sees him here, and that's what he's checking, just slot up in the pocket a little bit. But he's super uneasy in the pocket here, and then tries to throw the ball from an even base and throws the ball out of bounds. When, again, the pocket and the concept dictated that it could have easily been a pretty big completion for the Jets. So that was bad. Play 7. I can't wait till next year. I can't wait till the end of the season. I can't wait till free agency. Thank God hey, positive news. The Giants won and the Falcons won. I really don't think the Jets are going to get a win this year. If they do, it's 1 win. But there's like 7-8 teams who have 1 win right now. Some of them being I think the Eagles and somebody else who have the Eagles and the Bengals who have a tie. So, you're really looking at like 5-6 teams who have 1 win, like the Falcons and the Giants and the Jags, teams like that would need to win 2 games because the Jets might get that lucky game where they win, but they're not going to win more than 1 game. It's embarrassing, but it is what it is right now. Dumps ball early. Again, I was watching these plays like numb to this. So again, this isn't a design screen. They have this across motion, and then obviously a play action. It looks like you have the sifter coming underneath to split block number 43. That's what it's supposed to look like. You want 43 to bite down a little bit and open it up for Crowder. I don't think that's supposed to be his primary read. I just think Flacco is super hesitant in this game. Not hesitant. He just wanted to dump the ball off, fading away from pressure, uneasy in the pocket. Because if you look at the play, and again, you have plenty of pocket. Why is he dumping off into the flat right here? It's 1st and 10. Now, I would get it if it was 3rd and 1 and he needed a yard. Okay, perfect. You got that yard. But hold on to the ball right here, and if he was actually good, he would manipulate the second level right here, whether it be, I think it looks like defensive back and linebacker. What he would do is manipulate them either with his eyes, with a pump fake, or with just the hips. You see a lot of quarterbacks do that. Well, they'll have their hips square to their hips pointed to their read, and then they'll flip their hips real quick to the flat or where they want how they want to manipulate defenders. Defenders react to that because your hips have to be pointed to where you're throwing the ball. They jump up. He continues to read, and look, there's an over route that would be wide open. He can hit this window if he was a pump, but he throws it to Crowder in the flat, and Crowder doesn't go anywhere. It's just like, it was super simple, stupid football. Super simple. That's like an acronym. So 4 more plays. He was bad. Again, I'm not going to overload people with Joe Flacco film, but he was in the duds. Like, I couldn't leave him out. Even last week, I was going to put him in. Well, no, actually, he was okay last week, to be completely honest, but eyes locked right. Okay, snap, reads the right. And again, not once and the Jets offensive line was worse this game. I think a lot of that blame comes from, we have to be fair with your blame. One, McDermott was playing, Adogo went out at a certain point. You had Lewis, who went out, who has not been good. I think he's been the worst offensive lineman for the Jets. I think Gregory Van Roten has been taking steps up steps up in the right direction the last couple of weeks. And watching his film and doing that film review again, you can go back and watch it. I doubt you will. He's probably going to be gone next year. I thought that he could be a decent guard, or actually below average guard, but I thought he could be better than Brian Winters. And I think the last 2 games he definitely has been. I think Lewis has been the biggest weak spot. But again, a lot of people expected the offensive line to struggle with communication and just overall in the first couple of weeks. And then you have Van Roten struggling. It's like, oh my God, they should have never got rid of Winters, or they should have had Harrison at guard, when he's clearly better than both of those guys, in my opinion. So they needed some time. So the good reasoning was there before the games, but then once the games happened, that got thrown out the window. So I don't understand that. But he played better this game as well. But again, clean pocket, eyes locked right. And actually, I want to see his eyes go here, because his eyes were locked right. Doesn't throw it. If he wants to throw the flag, he gets to throw it now. And then looks back to the middle. Eyes back to the middle. And it looks like they might be on Herndon, but he never sees Crowder. On this, like, where does Herndon come from this? It's like you just have a levels read. You have a high-low read right here in the middle. Herndon draws the intermediate defender. Crowder's wide open over the top. It's a window you hit in the NFL every time. That's wide open in the NFL. And because of the pressure, maybe he rolls out to the right and throws the ball away, I'm going to assume. Or no, actually, he does hit Crowder, who drops the ball. Crowder played well this game. I think Crowder's been playing well, and like the routes I started last week, I thought they were impressive routes. But, obviously having 100 and something yards with 60, 70 of those yards being like kind of scripted, and that 150 something yard gain was a nice catch. Kind of, actually, it wasn't a nice catch. Let's be honest. He was wide open on a route that was designed. So he's been playing well, but he's not the best slot receiver in the NFL. I wouldn't go crazy with that. But again, drops back, reads right the entire time, doesn't want to throw right, reads middle, and you can see in the bottom of the screen, let me pull up my screen a little bit. On the bottom of the screen, you can see this is right when Crowder is coming across at this point when he goes back to read middle. So, and it looks like he looks there. I don't know why he doesn't throw it. Maybe he doesn't see it, which is a problem in itself, or he does see it, which is even a bigger problem. Rolls out, finds Crowder, and then Crowder, not the easiest catch, but he obviously drops it, so you don't want that. Flacco, ball too far inside. And there's some plays that come up that I talk about, like Perryman or whatever, that I will talk about Crowder or Flacco. Again, drops back. You have the deep mesh, the Yankee concept, whatever you want to call it. This actually looks more like Yankee than deep mesh. Deep mesh, you have the double overs, where this is more of a post than the deep over. So that's a Yankee concept. And throws the ball. Now in the NFL, could you hit this window? Obviously, with this guy matching the over, this guy in behind, you have to float the ball with really nice touch, on the upfield shoulder of the receiver, but you can't throw it inside. That's for damn sure. And Flacco, as you can see, never sets his feet. He's afraid of a little bit of pressure coming off the right side, but not enough for him to fade into a throw and not set his feet. It's all arm throw. Ball is too far inside. So, oh my God, great interception by Xavier Howard, I think it's Xavier Howard on this play, but not really. Like, again, context matters, because in this scenario, when he's throwing the ball, is this opening the NFL? Yes, it is. If he leads him here, this is a catch. What happens instead? He floats the ball up because he's fading into his throw, all arm. The ball is too far inside and not enough heat on it to Jeff Smith. I don't know if I said that was Crowder earlier, but to Jeff Smith, too far inside, pick. So yeah, nice ball skills and pick. But if this is here, this is not a pick. And Smith most likely here gears down too. Yeah, he's not running full speed right there. He gears down to come back to get that ball. So terrible play by Flacco. Ball placement. That's as easy to get his ball placement. Doesn't get much more simple than that. So, great play. Yeah, sure. He was also beat. So, to be fair. 29. Alrighty. Flacco, sack, Fant, block. Yeah, he's just super uneasy in the pocket. Like he's not trying to make plays happy. He doesn't want to get hit. It's pretty obvious. And a lot of what the Dolphins did was blitz him, man coverage, blitz him, 6-7 guys versus 5 blockers, and he couldn't get the ball out quick enough. He would fade off his back foot. His eyes would drop. He'd throw the ball out of bounds. Like, yeah, the offensive line wasn't good, but Flacco did not help this game. Like, this is a decent pocket in the NFL. Again, what should he do? You have Herndon, who's been actually running good jerk routes this year. Reed Herndon, who he is reading, step up in the pocket. You're not going to I guess he could have escaped out of this, but I would like to see him here recognize the leverages here. And if you have trust in Herndon, who runs the jerk and sits down, now they're both square, and Herndon knows he's going to run outside. Put it on his outside shoulder, or put it on his the inside shoulder right here. What does he do? Pull the ball down unnecessarily. There was some pressure, but again, good quarterback, step up, fire this ball in there. Fant block I was talking about. Again, another 45-degree set. I don't love the 45-degree sets that he always does, to be honest. And here, I think he opens up even a little bit too soon. That's why that guy catches his chest. But good job by Fant feeling the obvious lean into the hands, and he feels that even more so than it looks like, than just a visual aspect. But he feels that he lean into the hands, both arms come off, which can be risky. Chops the arms down, finishes the block. Good play by him. But Flacco is sacked. All right, maybe I put in a wrong play here. Let me see this really quick, because I don't think Flacco's name is Quinnen Williams, so I screwed up somewhere. All right, moving on. I might have screwed up, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, I guess I screwed up. Moving on to the defense. I said defense overall in the first half was bad. Again, did they hold the Dolphins to 3 points in the second half? Yes. Yes, a Devils Cup. I'm a Devils fan too. Jets, Mets, Devils, Nets. It's not the most common, but it's mostly influenced by family or whoever I was around who brought me to the game. Dad's a Giants fan, brought me to or somebody, my friend's dad and him brought me to my first Jets game, my first football game, Jets fan. First hockey game, grandpa, Devils. First Mets game, friend, Mets fan. So that's kind of how it happened, whatever I kind of, for my surroundings. But the defense overall in the first half was bad. And again, how much did the Dolphins really want to score on the Jets in the second half? I'm sure they didn't really care a ton, and they didn't. They were trying to run the clock out, a lot of run plays, a lot of simple concepts. They weren't trying to put up points in the Jets. I did put good plays and bad plays in here. Again, the Jets give me lack of effort. I'm going to do some lack of effort. So I'm not going to put this in the good defense, because overall this is a good pass deflection by Desir. But overall, his game was not great. I would say it was not even good. This was a step up in the right direction from Desir, and this is some of the stuff I saw on the film from him in Indy that was a little bit positive. Now, the only thing, so he's on the top right here, and it's you've covered 3. And the thing that I don't like about this is one is his alignment. I don't like that he's staying so far inside when he has help inside. Obviously, with cover 3, we want to stay more on the outside. I don't necessarily like how he's opening his hips up to stay over the top. I would rather see him weave and stay more tight to that upfield shoulder, because if he is going to run a deep sluggo, a post corner, you want to stay on that upfield shoulder. So I don't like how he's so far inside right here, just in case, and he's not really guarding great against a double move, but he obviously sees, you can see the drive phase of the shoulder with the shoulders right here from the receiver. You can see his shoulders are down, selling that drive phase. He is telegraphing his break right here, though. You see how his shoulders come up right here versus here, telegraphing the break. Desir does a good job staying patient with his feet. He's staying over his toes right here at the top. Anticipates the break. T-step, upfield shoulder, plays the ball, pass deflection. So good job by Desir right there. Overall, could he clean some things up, I think, with his hips and his alignment overall? Yes, but I only put this view in here too to see the hit from Poole on Fitzpatrick right there. He laid him out, which, I don't hate Fitz. I think it's funny, the narratives that come out about Fitz, that he's a great leader for a young quarterback in the locker room, when we all know that as Jets fans to not be true. I forget who the quote was exactly about, but Hackenberg or Gino or whatever, and he came out and basically said, "I don't care about them. I'm the starting quarterback," or whatever the hell it was. Again, don't quote me on that, because I forget exactly what it was. But he basically said he doesn't care about the development of the young guys. So he wants a job. He's not Josh McCown. That's for sure. So blown defense right here. Again, you have the sifter. You have the fake inside mid zone with the sifter. Sifter releases, catch, double slants right there. So this is a Panther concept with the flat and the double slants, Panther. And these guys get drawn inside. Jets are in man coverage. Somebody loses their assignment, and the tight end is wide open in the flat and runs in for a touchdown. Now, who was this? I'm going to say it's one of, and sometimes it's hard to know. I'm going to say it's one of Avery Williamson or Hewitt, because obviously, with man coverage principles, there are sometimes where you're going to follow a guy across the line of scrimmage. There's sometimes where if you're on the side of scrimmage, you pass him off to another player. Now, if it's during the play, you might pass it off as well. That does happen depending on how they're coached up. So you have Hewitt, who looks to be in man coverage on the running back. The ball is fake to the running back, so he's going to go into his run fit. He's going to read the run, and regardless, he's in man coverage. The tight end breaks out. So was that Avery Williamson who was trying to pass off 80 and now is trying to take the running back? We don't know exactly, but it's between those two guys. And obviously the tight end is hit for a wide open touchdown. Simple as that. It's miscommunication. I'm not going to identify exactly what that was, just because I don't have the play call. I don't know exactly what they're taught in that situation, but it was between one of those two guys. Blown defense, and leads to a untouched touchdown, which is not few and far between for this Jets defense. They blow a lot of defenses. This year, bad coverage. Fitz miss. Okay. Again, the little stuff with this year. I don't know the down and distance right here. It looks like it's probably going to be, they got a penalty, so maybe it's 2nd and 15, 1st and 15, whatever it may be. Oh, we can see right there. Hold on. So you have 2nd and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 2nd and 18. You have cover 1, man coverage. Desir opens his hips up 5, 6 yards too early. Again, leverage is off. He's way too far inside. If you're going to open your one, regardless if you're opening your hips inside or outside, you want to be more over the top of the guy. You don't want to be so far inside or outside because obviously whichever, the opposite, you're going to be giving up a lot of the yards to. Just in terms of like lateral distance. So you're so far inside, he breaks outside. You still have to cover that lateral distance from the bottom to the bottom of the numbers right here to where the receiver is plus the actual vertical distance to him. Opens his hips up too early, doesn't stay over the top. Receiver breaks on the piss poor attempt at a stop or a comeback. It's not a good break at all. It's actually a really bad break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like a lot of dead time at the top. That was an awful break. So maybe Fitz was just trusting that guy to get outside a little bit quicker. Regardless, bad route or Fitz putting it too far outside, which I'm going to put it more on the receiver here because that's a terrible route. Who is that? Is it Devontae Parker? I think it's Devontae Parker. It's not a good route. Desir is beat there, but obviously he didn't give up the catch because of that. 3 more plays of the defense. Again, not giving people too long. Blown D, 43 yards. Hewitt, question mark. I think this was Hewitt. Again, it's just too freaking easy. It really is just too easy. So you have cover 2. Again, the spot dropping that the Jets do, he's underneath, he's the cloud. He should be reading 2 to 3, at least on, based on how far he is inside. Again, some coaches might want to read 1 to 2, whatever. But at least he's reading 2. The 2 breaks inside. He gains depth. So I would like to see both Poole and Hewitt. I don't like, again, this is a problem with the spot drop because if they were man match principles, he would have matched the 3 and carried him here. Now he could have. Now if there was a dig or an over route, then yeah, he would. You'd hope that the hook seam right here would have the 2, and then they would obviously communication. They would know to switch their guys, and then he would pass off the seam to Poole, and he would drop down on the over, on the dig, whatever it may be. But he's definitely supposed to be on the 3 right there. The 3 breaks up the seam. Now, whether that be that he thinks it's supposed to be Poole, which I doubt, it's just the spot dropping nature of the Jets defense, gets right behind it. Boom. Both of the deep safeties were widened out by the vertical routes, attacking the middle part of that cover 2 defense, that base cover 2. And that's as easy as it gets. It's just way too easy. The defense is terrible. It's absolutely dreadful. Blown 2 more plays. The defense. Blown D touchdown. Okay, again. And this is a play where it's really impossible to tell because you have 3 guys pointing at each other after this play. Again, man coverage underneath the formation. Looks like Poole's throwing out like a push call where he's going to take the more inner guy, the outer guy's going to take the outer guy, where they're just changing their responsibilities. You have 2 guys sit on the in guy. You have the guy break into the flat, which based on like where they're aligned, unless they had a switch call in terms of where they actually broke to, it looks like you have man, but with these guys, with these 2 guys, the outer number 1 and 2, with those guys switching, do they have that automatic switch calls? based on, trying to defend against rub principles, them switching off their guys, where again, Poole might be on the number 2 and whoever this is, I think this year be on the 3. But once they switch really quickly as the ball is snapped, do they switch responsibilities? I don't know what they're calling. But neither do they. That's the problem. I don't have to know, They take the same guy flat, wide open. It's not like they rubbed anything. He's just wide open because they blew their assignment. They didn't know what each other were doing. Again, looks like you have communication, for Poole to tell the seer to switch their man coverage responsibilities, which again, at that point, Poole should be on 81 and Desir be on 86. But based on how tight all this is in here, they should have automatic switch call, Zaro call, whatever you want to call it, and switch guys once they have these switch releases. Again, it's not communicated. Touchdown. Simple. This is like week 1 stuff. Maybe not day 1 stuff, but this is week 1 stuff. I just put Austin missed tackle. He didn't play terrible this game because I didn't notice him a lot, but his problem with missed tackling for a guy who's so physical and he'll lay one big shot and then miss 5 tackles. Again, you want to take an angle to the upfield shoulder. You want to take an angle, if anything, more outside to inside because you have inside pursuit. What do you not want to do? Come inside, outside. He comes inside, outside, misses the tackle, and what could have been 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 is now a first down. It's simple stuff. His tackling is awful. It's as simple as that. My number 1 note of the game. Adam Gase. I'm going to give him a dud every week until he's here or until he's gone, most likely. 2 for 17 on 3rd down. Embarrassing. The consistent gore runs. The press conferences saying that Perrine went out after he dropped that ball because of his body language. The guy after last week when they trade Bell says it's imperative or it's whatever he says. Imperative is a simile for that whatever word he said. Imperative that he gets more carries. And then he gets like no carries, and then he drops 1 pass, and it's his body language. I don't want to hurt the guy's development when you have 7th round running backs getting 15 carries a game in the NFL this year. It's just absolutely it's stupid. He really is just an idiot. Like he makes an excuse for everything. Oh well, this player was out. Oh well, now it's this week he said, oh well, it's the young guys. Oh well, execution. Oh well, this guy was injured. Oh well, they're a good 3rd down defense. Like it's never just you know what? Yeah, I sucked. Like he takes no accountability. He's a child. Plenty of bad calls. The offense wasn't innovative this game. That's it. He's gone. He's as good as gone. My number 3 stud of the game, Braden Mann. I should have put the tackle in here. I didn't. 10 punts, 462 yards, touchdown saving tackle. He did that again. What is that? That was against the Broncos, I think, was the touchdown saving tackle. So great job. Cool. Punter's 3rd stud. Number 2 stud of the game. I put Fant in here. Again, I think after last week struggling at left tackle, he bounced back in a good way. Which is positive. Sorry, I got a weird text from a number I didn't know. Who I realize it is now. I just didn't answer them last time, so they got upset. But seeing it in a little pop-up screen, I was like, who the F thinks they're texting me like this? So again, not watching the whole, and this is just another lead zone play. Doesn't work out for a few reasons. One being that I would like to see McGovern cover with his hips a little bit more on the zero tech before kind of engaging. So I would like to see more covering with the body again, with getting that positional leverage. So that hurts. Plus Van Roten, playing long and shoving him into the gap blows up that side of the play. That, and then you have Herndon is not able to kick out the D end. You have a bunch of things here that go wrong. Obviously, this defender hits Lewis's feet, so that throws him off. So could have been a good. It could have been a much better play. So people, I saw some people coming out. I'm not going to call people out because I'm not here to do that, especially for smaller people who try to do this stuff. But they said, "Oh, terrible play design." Not terrible play design. If he was to get kicked out, if he was to get play side leverage, if this combo were to work, and then he was to climb to the thick linebacker, as some people like to call it, not the thin versus thick. If he was to climb to the thick linebacker and then Wesco leads the way, you have a hat on a hat for every single person in this play, and it could be a huge gain. That does not happen. Now, the only weird thing about the design, actually, now that I'm looking at it too, is I guess Wesco was going to turn inside. He was just arc blocking. Regardless, could have been a good play. But I do like Fant's block right here. More of like a ricochet technique with a drop step. Drop, throw a shoulder in. Good job by Lewis getting lateral, then engaging. So good job by, again, Fant staying square. Drop step, drops his shoulder, and clearly helps Lewis getting play side leverage, and then climbs and blocks his guy, how many yards out? Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6 yards. So great play by Fant, but the run didn't work out for other reasons. That's it for Fant. I showed another play of him before that play. Quinnen Williams, number one stud of the game. Again, he's a defensive tackle, so people think that Q will stand out the same way that Julio Jones or DeAndre Hopkins does. It's not the same. 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass deflection, 5 tackles. I thought he was pretty solid again this game. I think the only game, I think the Bills game was his worst game. I would say the Colts is his second worst game. But other than that, like the Broncos game, the Cardinals game, he was solid. This game, he was solid. Like he's playing better than he did last year. So, and he's going to keep developing again. He's 21, 22 years old. So he's like high rate of pressures. If he got that sack versus the Broncos in the Broncos game, he had 4 sacks in 6 games, which isn't bad for actually is good for a defensive tackle. I also think, again, the way he's being used, the one game he played 55% of snaps, a lot of it is the looping, creating room for linebackers to blitz because the Jets don't have the singular talent to win 1 versus 1. Where, okay, I've said this before, you take the B gap, you take the C gap, you take the edge, blitz your gap, take care of your gap. That's it. No, Q has to cross the face of the guard, hold up the center for the other 3 technique to loop around, and then he has to try to penetrate. Like he's doing a lot more of holding guys up, and even if he's not holding the guy up, and he has to delay and then loop around. He's a guy he's explosive, but he's still 300 pounds, so he's not. It's going to be harder for him to get to the quarterback on stunts, especially when you factor in 1, his weight just in general, and 2, the corners are so bad and they give up so many hitch routes and curls and comebacks that the quarterbacks don't hold the ball. So even if the stunt does work, it's not working because the secondary is so bad. So he has a bunch of factors going against him. Low number of snaps, and I'm not making excuses. Again, Darnold, I thought he was gonna be a top 5 guy, and I've been crushing him for the way he's been playing, but no rushes around him, so they have to manufacture a lot of pressures. Bad secondary, and the one game he played like 55% of the snaps. So I think he's played a little bit more this last week, but overall, he's just not in a position to get a ton of sacks and rack up things. Like even like Aaron Donald, like you had guys like Brockers and Fowler and guys around him, and obviously he gets a ton of attention. But you see what I'm saying, and they have Ramsey and they have Peters, and again, not comparing him on really any level to Donald, but I'm just saying like he's in a great situation to be productive. 4-eye tech again. I call this more of the difference between a loose 3 and a 4-eye is so minuscule to me, but I'll call this more of a 4-eye for Q right here. Blow up the run again. Aggressive step up field. Sees the left tackle like base blocking him. Tight elbows again. just trying to move anything, like people who lift or anything like that, or do, just have basic knowledge of physics. Trying to push something with wide elbows versus push something with tight elbows, you're a lot stronger with tight elbows. So good tight elbows, good leverage underneath the pads, power, just completely drives him back, eyes up, sees the handoff, sees the running back, drops his hip, lengthens that lateral step to break off, tackle. Simple as that. Again, this is just him going against his guy and penetrating. Like his run stopping ability is really, really good this year. So good job by him right there on that play. Again, running through these relatively quickly because I know people are toasted with the Jet stuff. 19, 30, 39. 3 more plays of him. Q run stuff. Okay. Right here. Loose 3. Again, aggressive step up field. Looks like he looks at the quarterback first, which looks like he obviously looking like he's going to hand the ball off. Drops his helmet into the left tackle. Gets inside of his hands. Pops him up. Again, that's just that aggressive first step and that power. Boom, pops him up. Drives him into the backfield. Sees the running back. You see peeks at the running back. Sees the outside track of the running back. Drops his hips. Widens his left foot. Working off the instep. Extends, sheds. Left arm comes over the top. Swipes away the hands. Chases down the running back, tackle. And by the way, too, I talked about Steve McClendon. I didn't talk about him a lot at all, but obviously I think I was the conductor of the Steve McClendon fan train since 2016 or whatever when he saw 2017. He's been a great Jet, great leader, severely underrated player. Even this year, he's still really good at player. So the Bucks got a really good run stuffing defensive tackle because I know that his lost Vita Vea. So they dumped his salary. I don't know how much exactly they saved, but they improved their draft slot a little bit for a guy who's on a losing team, who you should have respect for to trade to a playoff team. He would make an impact obviously for the team if he continues to stay on the team, but for what? The Jets are going to they're going to be 0-16, 0-1-15 with or without McClendon. So dump his salary, whatever you did. Even if not, improve your draft slot a little bit. That's all they're doing. They're unloading guys, and people will talk about, okay, well, who are they trading? I think everybody's on the table. People, I'll be happy with a second round pick for Quinnen Williams. If you're happy with the second round pick for Quinnen Williams, you don't know what you're watching. Becton's untouchable. The whole Darnold thing, trading him before the trade deadline is ridiculously foolish to me. It's dumb. You trade Darnold, who you still should have, hopefully, 10 games to evaluate him. You end up getting 2-3 wins this year. You don't have the first pick, and then they fall to the 4th pick, and then you have and then again, will this happen? No, I'm not saying it will, but could it happen? Yes, which is what you have to consider. You have to consider all factors. And you have Lance, Fields, and Lawrence. You go 1, 2, 3. You're sitting at 4. You just traded Darnold. What your plan in 2021 is with James Morgan? So you cannot trade Darnold. That's just stupid. The trade deadline, can't trade him after next week. There's 9 games left. Which will you win them? No. Could you? Yes. So again, loose 1 right here. Lateral step, engages the center. Again, tight elbows. I like the tight elbows, and I like the leverage he plays with for sure. Especially this year versus last year. Last year he's playing higher. But when he is actually just take his guy one-on-one, penetrate gaps, he's been a lot better. And he does see a decent amount of double teams. He's better than Leonard Williams. I'm not giving him Leonard. That's that Leonard Williams excuse, but he's better than Leonard Williams. Hands inside, extension, wide base, working off the insteps again. Stands up the center, sees the exchange point, the mesh point, and just keeps extension. Waits for the running back to declare, sees the running back cut back. You see him clearly drop the hips right there. You see that motion, drop the hips, widen, burst off the instep, get his hand on, get in on the tackle. Next and last play of Q. Run stuff. All right. Right here. 4-eye. Weak side. The Dolphins run a counter OF. Q. Again, who is pretty damn good at like recognizing blocking schemes and blowing things up. And again, it's just really it's a natural feel where whether or not he was going to take a step up field or not, he seems to recognize quickly that the left tackle is stepping inside to get in or to cut block him or to get inside leverage of him. Regardless, he notices the cut block coming. He gets his hands on. More of his like forearms on, and obviously again with cut blocks, you want to throw them into the ground so they're not, they're trying to attack your thighs, cut you. So pushing them down, obviously gets them away from your lower half, and you just have to jump over the trash right there, shoves them down, jumps over, follows the running back, tackle for loss. So good job right here noticing that cut coming and shoving him into the ground and hopping over. And able to accelerate right here and get the run stuff, the tackle for loss, whatever that was. So good job by him. Overall, bad from the defense. All of it, pretty much. Jordan Jenkins hasn't been making an impact really at all. Bradley McDougald has been a disappointment as the tradee. I would have rather at this point, obviously, the Jets traded. What was the Adams trade? It was they gave us 2 firsts and a third, and we gave them a Jamal Adams and a 4th, and apparently like that 4th or whatever was for Bradley McDougald. I would rather have signed a safety off the street at this point. Now, obviously, this is a revisionist history or money minor quarterback, whatever you want to call it, but I would rather had just 2 firsts and a third, and not had a McDougald for a 4th or whatever, because 1, I don't think he's going to sign here again, and 2. He's been bad. And even if, you still would have had to trade that 4th, maybe because of McDougald, that could have been, a 6th. So we'd rather have get rid of a 6th or a 4th and have McDougald, so obviously hasn't worked out with him, but Jenkins hasn't made an impact. The defense, we went over a lot of it, Bless Austin missing tackles this year. Blown assignments. The coverage from the linebacker unit is bad. The overall speed and athleticism of the linebacker unit is bad. They have no edge rusher. They have 1 decent safety, which we'll talk about. But bad from the offense. Adoga, I would say, has struggled when he's been playing, so that's not a positive. I think he's a decent backup swing tackle, but he's not showing that he could be a starter over these 2 games. And it's funny that, again, this is one of the narratives that, George Fant is terrible, Adoga's going to take his job. Okay. Right. But, okay, so we'll watch Flacco first for this one, because that's what this what this was. Well, not what this was, but I labeled this Flacco can't step into throw. Oh, because of Adoga, but these guys switch the releases. Corners handle it nicely. You have the China concept with the in and the Jesus and the corner right here. This is open in the NFL. It's not a huge window, but you can hit that. You can hit that corner. I mean, you can hit that corner route. You can hit that receiver again if you lead him. Obviously, Crowder's looking back to the ball to track it, so he'll adjust to the ball. So whether you want to lead him to the sideline, lead him upfield, wherever you be, as long as you lead him, there should be a catch, but he can't step into his throw. It's catches some air. Good job by Crowder attacking the ball and almost catching it, but it would have most likely been a pick. Adoga, drag hand, vertical set, opens up way too soon in my opinion. He's not really splitting his guy. Like, he opens up too soon. You see that this foot is not splitting his guy. His base is narrow. He's standing pretty much straight up. His hips and his upper body don't want to be completely connected. So this right here, with your heels clicking as well, at this point, is not a good spot to be caught with a bull rush. Not creating a lot of power from the lower body. Drops his helmet into him. Gets bull rushed, allows a soft edge because of his hips right here. He's not really covering a lot with his hips. It's more of his upper body. Flacco again drifts away, throws the ball, and you could look at the. It wasn't tipped, actually. No, it wasn't. Hold on. Was his hand hit right here? His hand might have been hit. I can't tell 100% from that view, but his hand might have been hit. But look at the ball. It's a duck. So moving on from Adoga, but again, overall, I didn't think he was good. I would say Lewis struggled again this game. The backups with Connor McDermott, I think his first name is Connor. Josh Andrews struggled. Perrine, to be honest, I don't think he was very good this game. Even when he did get opportunities, obviously him dropping a ball, but I don't think he was playing great in terms of like seeing holes and things like that either. Let's see what this play is. Draw. Again, just based on hats. Obviously, you have the quick penetration from 92 in the A gap, which is fine for a draw. Like the quick penetration is fine. It's longer developing, but just like a screen, like a draw play, if you have quick penetration, that can lead to one. It could lead to tackles for loss, but if it's not directly towards the running back, it could lead to big plays as well. So here's a decision here. You have a DB who's free. You have hat on a hat. Completely. They're completely. Straight on each other. So he should be able to hold this block. You'd hope against a linebacker. You have Perryman with inside leverage on a DB. What is the better hold to take? And he's reading this block, but you should scan both sides. Like I know it happens quick and it's easier said than done, but he's a NFL running back. So again, read this guy. You see that they're straight up with each other. You have Perriman coming to the inside of 25. What's the better hold to take? So misses that B gap that I thought he should have hit. Turns right into a tackle. Perrine drop ball. Again, not too much to this. Breaks out on the swing. Ball is low. Looks to me like his head turns early. He's not looking the ball in. If he was looking the ball in, his eyes would go down to the ball. That's what you want. So his eyes don't follow the ball. They don't track the ball into his hands. Turns run upfield, drops it for what most likely would have been a first down. Right here. Unless this was like, could have been, is that I can't see the yard marker right there. First, maybe it was 1st and 13 or whatever, and you're just getting back to line of scrimmage, whatever it was. Again, I forget. But not great. Crowder, I said I put him in the bad from the offense. I don't think he deserved to be in bad or the good. I just don't think he was as good as he has been in the last couple of weeks. I put 2 plays of him in here. Crowder, which I think these plays are actually positive from Crowder. I showed the drop ready from him. I think that's really, let's see, Crowder route and contested catch. Slaw right here. Yeah. His route running is really good at times. This is a good design too, overall, just in terms of a guy, and again, I'll give him credit for some of the plays he runs. This is a good design in terms of the Dolphins expecting a lot of rub routes and things like that, rubs, picks, whatever you want to call it, because that's what Gase does a lot. So the corner is reacting to this, and he's expecting Crowder to go underneath of this on the flat, like a slat on the rub into the flat, again, turnout field to get some extra yardage. So he wants to guard against that. He declares and goes over the top quickly. As you can see him react to it. He sees the picker coming, gets his hips completely flipped. Crowder breaks inside. Great job by 25 recognizing this, by the way. 25 picks it up. So he limits it. 25 actually gets a hand in there. So good burst, good recognition. Really, really good play by 25 to limit that. But Crowder makes a contested catch right here for the first down. Did he reach the ball right there? It looks like he reached the ball out, but it doesn't look like it was a first down, but really close to it. Would that be? Okay, so now it's 2nd and inches. So great route by Crowder. Good job selling that. 26. One more play, Crowder again. Moving through this really quickly. Did not plan on this being a long show. They won't be long for the rest of the year, unless they'll be a little bit longer once you have guys like Mims back. Once you have guys like Becton back, Darnold back, maybe Huff back, maybe Zuniga actually gets some reps. They'll probably be a little bit longer with the young guys, but I'm not going to spend a ton of time criticizing Flacco and Gore. Crowder drops. We had 2 drops in this game. This one's a little bit harder. Where they run another sail concept right here. The Jets run that a lot. 3-level read, deep, intermediate, short. Teams typically go deep to intermediate to short with their reads. That's why I say it like that. Flacco puts the ball in a position for Crowder to catch it. Reading left the whole time. Sees him open. Delivers the ball. This is a catch in the NFL you got to make. Again, it's not the easiest catch. Hits you in the hands, though. And I know he has to extend a little bit to it, but you want to see him make that catch. I know he was positioning himself to get the toe drag in there, which he would have, but got to secure the catch. So it's a drop. So he had 2 drops in this game, which is not a positive. Vincent Smith played 5-6 snaps, I think. Muffed up. Was it a punt or a kick he muffed? I think it was a punt where he was like 3 yards deep into the end zone. Went to go run it out, caught the ball, fumbled it, and then had to bobble it on the ground, and then got to the 4-yard line, 5-yard line, 6-yard line. So that's not good. I think he had a penalty on offense as well. So not a great game from him. Good from the offense. A couple plays here. I have Perryman. I thought so. Even though Perryman didn't have a cut, and I'll show you. There's a couple plays where, and I'm not just looking at the stats. I haven't talked about the stats because he had 4 catches for 60-something let's and people are like, oh, well, let's look at the stats. He didn't have a great game. I disagree with that. I think he had 1 bad play, which was this play, which was good at first, but bad in terms of tracking the ball. Top of the screen, reduced split right here is tight again. I think that's Byron Jones. And again, if you watch the Perryman review, you're going to notice this release because he uses this, this hop step all the time, where he drives off of this foot and then brings his foot about halfway up to even about 75% up, and then drives off of that same foot and just kind of screws up the corner's timing because he's expecting him to break off of that left foot. So he's thinking it's coming a little bit later than it is and in a different way. So he uses it too much in his game, but overall it's a good move. And good job getting lateral first to square him up. Because obviously if he's going to break outside, he wants to start his break from squared up instead of inside leverage. So good job squaring up with that hop step. So hop step defeats the hands, gets outside, beats Byron Jones. He's beat. So great job right there. He got open. He beat the press. Wide open, hand up. Flacco again doesn't step into his throw. You can see him. He steps in the bucket right here too. But watch that foot. He doesn't drive towards the target. He steps he stomps his foot down, and look at his body's popping up. He says raising up. It's not a good throwing motion right there. Floats the ball up there, and Perryman just misjudges it. One, he stops running, which if you're open, keep freaking running, which I get to a certain extent. You don't want that safety to come across the field. So you want to sit in that soft spot a little bit. So I get it, but he misjudges the ball right here. It's over his head. So you're going to see him gear down right here. The ball's in the air. He has to track it. He gears down, misjudges it, ball's over his head. So Don't stop running, and obviously you want to have better skills of looking the ball in right there. 2 more plays of him. 2, it's another play where he beats the corner again. And if you're winning deep 3 times in a game, even if you're hit just on 2 of those, which he was hit on 0, that could be a big game. So then you take away the garbage time. Maybe he had, or even with the garbage time, let's just say, instead of whatever, I'm not going to go, okay, well, these stats versus these stats. If he connects on 2 of those 3 deep balls, then everybody's like, oh, it's a really good game for Perryman, but it's not what happened. Here, again, another release. Looks the same because it is, or pretty close to it. He alters the foot that he brings up a little bit in terms of the ground it covers before he hops off the same foot. So he has a hop step release again. Hop step, break outside. He bows it out a little bit. No hands from the corner, which you don't like in a cornerback's perspective. Byron Jones. Again, was it as open as last time? No. In the NFL, is this open? Especially for a guy in Perryman who's fast. If the ball was to his outside shoulder right here, to his outside shoulder and leading him, he has this ball. He won that route on Byron Jones. The ball is way underthrown. As you can see, he's clearly gearing down right here, coming back to the ball. The ball is too far inside as well, which you will say. So, again, if the ball is outside right here, well, farther than that, but if the ball is leading him to the outside, this is a catch. He has a yard on him, easily. Flacco, there's a blitzer. Again, I think this is – so it's almost – so it's a good job by this linebacker getting really quickly into McGovern as he's reading the this guy they're sugar in the egg gaps, this double mug look, and good job by him getting into McGovern quickly before he recognizes that. But Gore blocks the wrong guy right here. He's engaged. He has an arm on McGovern. They're running the cross dog blitz right here, and he needs to recognize that he's picking for a guy behind him. He picks up the wrong guy. Pressure on Flacco. Flacco is going to drift away because he's not going to step into a throw. He's not going to get hit. Just not what he's going to do right now. And on this play, it's not the easiest to do when you're taking your drop to step right to that hit. It would be a little bit difficult, but again, he's open. Ball's lollipopped too far inside. Perryman can't make a play on the ball. So 2 wins, right off the first 2 routes. I believe it was the first 2 routes of the game that did not connect. 1 being his fault, 2 being the offensive line's fault, Gore's fault, and his own a little bit as well. Perryman open deep again. 3 reps for 1 deep. Flacco overthrow. So top of the screen. This is more like he uses this is more of a skip. This is a skip release to close ground, where you have the 1 foot. This foot's only going to come about halfway and then plant. So skips the skip release, close ground. Just gives him some foot fire right here at the top. Drops his hip, foot fire, break inside. Again, just pure speed. So he's just delaying the corner, just freezing his feet. I don't know why the corner is retreating and not using his hands. Again, pretty frustrating to watch if you're evaluating the corner. But regardless, eats up the space, evaluates, freezes the feet, releases inside. Again, he beat him deep. If the ball is where it's supposed to be and leading him, this is a catch and he gets tackled at the 5-yard line or a touchdown. So he wins deep right here, undoubtedly. But they don't have that connection. So I actually put him in a good game. Seeing him win deep 3 times is a positive for his first game back. Did he play last game against the I forget. I think this is his first game back. McGovern, I didn't put him in my bad offense, but he wasn't in my good offense either. I think he was meh. Broncos game, positive. Cardinals game, definite positive. This game, not great. Barrios, obviously really nice play. Again, this is for a guy who I think should be a backup. Your 4th, 5th, 6th string receiver, not one of your primaries, but snag route from the slot right here in the bottom. Snag, soft spot of the defense, quick hitter. Flacco sees him open, throws it, catch, tuck, turn, and he turns right into the hit, which is, fine. Obviously, he sees this guy sitting. He knows he's going to get sandwiched right here. He knows what's going to happen. So good job by him and not just giving up. Tucks it, absorbs the 2 hits, and again, low center of gravity. These guys hit high. Their force kind of goes over top of his back and into one another. You see they kind of hit each other because he ducks under it. Runs forward and he picks up an extra 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10, 11, 12 yards because of it. So good play by him. Obviously, like the toughness right there to not be, softy and just, again, jumps into the catch, ribs are open, tucks the ball, going to absorb the hit. These guys go over the top and literally hit each other. That's what happens. Turns out of it, boom, escapes. Like to see it. Moving on. Ty Johnson, listen, just signed from the was on the Lions practice squad, or did he get cut by the Lions? They picked him up, whatever. Minimal chances. First run, 8 yards or whatever it was. I think it was 8 yards. 8 yards first run. Second run, 34 yards. So good first game for him. Obviously explosive run, the longest run of the year on like your second carry of the game is great. Good job, blocking. Good job by Fant running his guy outside. Obviously, like to see Lewis ideally cover more play side instead of being more heads up right here. But the A gap is filled. He's not going to be able to widen out. He doesn't want to loop around, Fant to get outside because then he'll be drawing it out. You want to get vertical at a certain point. So he's going to hit the B gap. Even if this guy has play side leverage on Lewis, this is a wide enough gap where you can just widen out a little bit and run off of Fant's ass instead of trying to run off Lewis's ass. So good job reading the hole. Hits it, turns up field, and shows some good bursts and gets 34 yards again. So got to give him a thumbs up for that. Greg Van Roden, thought played pretty well. Don't have any plays of him, but I thought he played pretty well. Again, he's taking steps up, which is a positive. Good from the defense, even though he was bad in coverage. Avery Williamson, 11 solo tackles. I think he's been okay overall. He's not the Avery he was in 2017 or 18 or 16 or whatever, but overall he was okay. I think he's a guy you trade. You get a 6th-round pick for him. Just stack the picks. If you can stack up 4 or 5 6th-round picks and trade 4 or 5 6th-round picks for a 5th or for a 3rd or a 4th or whatever, like it's better than these guys just walking to the end of the year. You're not going to build around Avery Williamson. Huff got a sack, limited snaps. I don't know why he played such limited snaps this game, but for a guy who played limited snaps, to get that sack is good. Obviously, him and Huff Q rush, ball out quick, spot drop. Okay, again, this is like an example of what I'm talking about, the linebackers in the secondary being so bad that the ball is out so quick, so they are not able to be effective. So you have Q inside. Wide one, loose one, whatever you want to call it, engages with the left guard, which is Flowers, I believe, right? Hands deflect, swipes the outside arm, transitions into a bull rush, and walks him right back onto Fitz's feet. But 1, 2, 3, fire. Snap 1, 2, 3, fire. It's hard for him to get there. But again, if they were forced to hold the ball, then you have Flowers who's on Fitz's feet. Huff off the left edge right here. Inside angle on his whatever second or third step. 1, 2, or second step. Aggressive. Get him to plant his feet. Feeds his feet. Or freezes. I think I said that wrong. Freeze his feet outside. He goes to swipe the outside arm. He misses, so you want to see a little bit more accuracy. But he is able to, just based on him setting himself up with angles, with the inside angle, outside angle, he's able to work just by the arms. So the arms do connect, but he has the power to drive past it. Bends, throws the rip, and gets his hands on Fitz. But again, you have guys dropping who eyes are on the quarterback the entire time. Like, this cannot happen. It's not the way you play defense to just backpedal and just look at the quarterback. You have no idea what's going on. So the only way the Jets are playing defense is spot dropping. Just drop back into that area, read the quarterback, and if he's somehow throwing by you, then great, you have a pick. But that's not how defense is played in 2020. Not a good defense, at least. So 2 more plays to Huff. This is John Franklin Myers, too, who got a pressure. Who, again, bright spot. I can give not as much as the last couple of games, but overall, again, he's been playing pretty well. John Franklin Myers is the 4-tech. Step up field. Right guard's picking him up. Open A gap. Plant. Attack the A gap. Doesn't land his hands. You can see he goes for the double swipe right there. Double swipe. Hands come wide. So he gets caught. And then he just goes straight into power. He's a powerful dude. Like, again, he gets caught, but he just goes straight into power. Just rush right towards the quarterback. I like his explosiveness and his power. You have Huff off to the left side right here. 4-point stance. Pretty similar. 1, 2, 3 this time. Soften the edge for him. Chop. You like to see that be a little bit more powerful, that chop, to actually defeat the outside arm. But good job with the chop in general. Good idea of, again, inside angle, get him to set his feet, soften your edge, chop the outside arm, is able to bend, turn the corner, and then find fits for the sack. It's a good thing to see Huff obviously playing like this. For a guy who's an undrafted guy, like, it's fantastic. Huff bull rush off the edge again. Nothing really happens here, but good job. Like, just showing his power. Like, he has the fluidity in the hips. He has the burst. He has the size at 6'3", 250. He has the strength. The technique needs to be there, but he has that speed, bend, strength. Arm length, I'm not too sure, but the technique is getting worked on. But overall, he has a couple of good traits. So, again, comes off the ball. Good first step explosion. You can see how covers ground quickly to the left tackle. Left tackle's hands are down and wide. He bull rushes, gets good leverage, and just drives. Look how much he drives that left tackle, and even hits the running back within a matter of seconds. Look how quickly he's moving this guy. I'll play it in full speed so you can appreciate it a little bit more. That's what you want to see. That's not even, he got him. Like, he destroyed him right here. Great job by Huff. John Franklin Myers, a few nice plays. Like I said, I just and pressures. I just showed got one play of him. Oh, yeah. Okay. So stand up edge right here, 7-tech. And again, this is against the tight end. So it's not, you do have to consider that, but the tight end comes out to block him, gets his left hand into the armpit right there, left hand into the armpit, throws him backwards. And I like the transition of the hands right here. 1, 2. It's important. Your hands got to match each other. You don't want him to throw him off right here and then not be ready with that hand. So he does, comes up, takes an angle to the quarterback. Obviously, the tight end tries to recover, gets into Franklin Myers. He continues to track the quarterback, throws the tight end off him, again, power, gets his hands on to Fitz for what would be a sack, most likely. And the tight end comes off, and Fitz just makes a Fitz-type play where it doesn't even look like – I don't know if the tight end was expecting the ball right here, but – good job by Fitz getting rid of it for sure. Those are some fun plays I like to see. Or not like to see, but Q comes in for the tackle. Moving on. Basham, sack, and more disruptive this game. Again, he was pretty quiet the first couple of weeks, but overall, screwed some out. Okay, sorry. Overall, again, a little bit better this game. So, sack and more disruptive. I have 2 plays of him. Basham sack. He is the edge right here. That's just, the Jets have like some guys who are straight line explosion. It's like weird, like how they build a defense, like a lot of straight line explosion here, but not a lot of like lateral guys, especially with Basham, John Franklin Myers. Like they're kind of like the same. Obviously, Franklin Myers is a little bit bigger, but like the same type of like player like that. Like Franklin Myers, in terms of like straight lines, pretty good. Again, good blitzes on here. Just in terms of Q pulling these two guys, starting inside, pulling those two guys. You have Franklin Myers right here who crosses, you have Franklin Myers right here who's attempting to pull the right guard and the center to their left, which does not happen. But you have another part of this blitz where you have the linebacker who is going to pull the right guard and the right tackle. So regardless, either you have John Flacco Myers who's going to pull the center right guard, or you're going to have the blitzer pull the right guard into the right tackle, widening out that A gap. Basham rushes upfield, attacks that A gap. That's exactly how it's designed up. The right guard tries to drop off, but it's just it's obviously too late, and he's at full speed. You're not going to be able to just get one hand on him like that and really affect him too much. Right into Fitz, sack. Good job. Next play of him. 24. And we got 2 more plays from the defense, and we got a couple miscellaneous plays, and that's about it. Bull rush. Yeah, he's powerful again. Just like his power and that straight line explosion that he has. Right, if you're looking at the right edge right here. Good manipulation of angles right here. One aggressive step inside, outside, which gets him into oh shit mode because he's like, obviously playing the angles really well. Where he's gonna sit and then try to get outside because he went to oh shit, but oh my god, he tried to beat me outside. So then you're gonna overcompensate to get outside. So now your body's all out of whack. 1, 2, 3, right back into him. I like that. Maybe a little bit more. Let's see more. Kind of like, I think he could have even generated more power right here with the hands. I think they could have been a little bit more forceful and extending into him, but gets his hands inside and just runs him right into Fitz's feet. Fitz dumps the ball off to the running back, but obviously trucking over a tackle like this is nice to see. He gets caught by the turf monster right there, though. This number 68, because this foot never comes back, so he almost goes into like a split, which does not help. But good job by Basham. Poole, nice few plays. He had a nice hit or two. He obviously had the interception. Cover 2, did a good job reading the quarterback's eyes. Right here, again, he's versatile. Where he could play safety roles. He could play in a Tampa role. He could play in a hook. He could play in a hook curl. He could play in a hook seam, whatever it may be. And here he drops into that hook seam of this Tampa 2. Stays over top of his number 2 threat. Reads the quarterback's eyes, sees him loading up to throw into the middle. Doesn't even look at where he's throwing it, but he's going to try to match that ball. Matches the ball, pick. So good job just reading the quarterback's eyes, reading him loading up in his zone. Again, the whole time reading the quarterback, which at this point, could he flip and throw this guy? Yeah, probably. Spot dropping right here? Yes. But it leads to the pick if the quarterback's not going to see him. He tries to lead the tight end right here. I believe it's a tight end. Doesn't notice Poole or just thinks he can fit it in there. Poole makes a really good play right here to jump it. Obviously, great catch too. Not an easy catch. Good job. then in the last play, Marcus May, he was moved back into his role, his deep role that he's better at. Again, coming, with McDougal coming in, a lot of people said, oh, well, I think they're going to switch a lot, which I agree with. They're going to switch, but I thought May would still be primarily deep because that's what he's best at. And I thought McDougal was best in the box in terms of man-on-man coverage with tight ends and things like that. He's not good in the run game, but neither really are. So I thought, May is a player who might be here for a little bit longer, play him in his strongest role. They don't do that. You have Tampa 2 again. I do not know why Poole or why Austin was so far inside. Maybe they're trying to give you the illusion of a blitz. He didn't blitz, but you're not getting any reroute. You're not getting nothing here. So May is over the top in cover 2, basically an off-man coverage at this point. Wide receiver stems him inside, then up. He takes a good angle to cut him off. And people, I put this as butt interception because so many people come out, oh my God, people taking unfair shots at the Jets. The butt fumble was 10 years ago. Take a joke or take a chance to joke at the or offend the Jet, not offend the Jet, to shit on the Jets, whatever. Whenever they can, relax. Who cares? I call it a butt interception too. It's funny. It's okay. Don't get too angry, but good job cutting him off. Hands on, and looks through the receiver to the ball. Through the receiver looks at the ball, so he plays it perfectly. He doesn't flip his hips into him, then look back to the ball when there's way too much room to the sideline. He plays through the receiver, hands on, tracks it. There's a little bit of pass interference here from him ripping down the jersey, but then you also have pass interference from the receiver to pulling him down right there. Clearly pulls down the shoulder. So they're fighting. It is what it is. Good job of the ref not calling it, because some refs would have called it because of this, if he even saw, which he probably didn't. May attacks the ball, goes to catch it, but obviously he doesn't. He's not able to. Good last-ditch effort, though. Falling to the ground, knows he's not going to catch it, tries to pin it against his body, ends up pinning it against his ass, pins it, comes loose again, pins against the ass, and you have Bless Austin who comes up and because if he knocked it out right here, it probably would have been an incompletion. So freaking Bless Austin almost screwed up. Like if you're going to come catch that ball, you better be ready to grab it right there. Almost screws it up, and he's able to gain it. But again, you can see the angle right here where he clearly pulls down that shoulder pad right there. Pin it. Bless Austin doing his best job to force an incompletion. Smacks it out, and then he's still able to grab it. That is awesome. That is just funny. Of course, your own guy almost deflects it. Where you already had a great catch right here. It would have been done. But now even after that, he makes even a harder catch and pins it with both arms. That is hilarious. That is funny. I love that. That's just great. Special teams, Ficken missed a 52, 53, 54, 55-yarder, whatever. I'm not going to kill him for that. He's been making a lot of shorter field goals, though, to say that this year. Hasn't been a lot of deep stuff. Miscellaneous plays, I got 5 of them. Did I just sound like what the frick is that guy's name? He always plays like a mobster. Oh, man, that's going to bother the hell out of me. But I feel like I just threw out an accent from him. What movies is he? Does like mob movies and shit. What the hell is his name? I see his face. If somebody gets that, I'm going to be so pumped. I'm going to look it up anyway and come back to you guys next week. But if somebody gets that off of the way I just said 10-7 or whatever the hell I just said, I'm going to be excited. But the fuck is that guy's name? I forget. It's bothering me. Christopher Walken? That's not his name. Why is that name coming to my head? Hold on. I got to Google Christopher Walken. Christopher. Oh, it is Christopher Walken. Yeah, that's why I feel like I just sounded like. All right. Maybe I'm getting delirious. I ruined your chance to get it. Maybe you're like, oh, God, I'm going to say it up. Never mind. The goddamn Jets. All right, that's what I play for this one. McGovern, Flacco, not being on the same, lack of snaps together and lack of communication. McGovern thought he heard something. Flacco might have said something wrong, whatever. Snaps the ball to his knees and sack. The goddamn Jets. That's all I need to put for that. Why do I need to put more? 27-31. 27, 31, 35, 36. Do I remember that? I want to go with no. Hewitt tackle. Again, I like him in the run game, like how physical he is. I think this is a good play where he stacks and sheds for a tackle. Yeah, I like the physicality. I really do with him like filling gaps and stuff like that. Doesn't mean he necessarily fills the right gap and does things he's necessarily supposed to do. But with lead blockers or something like that, drops his shoulder, pops him. Doesn't see the running back. Obviously, with him popping right here, and his eyes inside. If the running back was coming up this hole, he would already be there. Eyes go outside, kind of close lines him, tackle like that. I'm going to remember 31, 35, 36. All right. Good run blocking, which is rare for the Jets. Actually, sorry, not this year, but just in general, I put a good run blocking play. Another draw play. Inside leverage, inside leverage, inside leverage, inside leverage. You have the combo from you have Van Roten on the ricochet block. He's going to allow him to go either way. McGovern. He's going to allow him to declare himself. If he goes inside, he's going to take this A gap. If he goes to the outside or outside, whatever you want to call it, opposite, he's going to allow him to go through that A gap. Ricochet, power off the instep, drop his shoulder, letting the tackle get inside leverage on him. Work to second level. Right there. Boom. Good hole. And acceleration forward for the decent sized game. Phillips run stuff. He showed up this game. This is the last play. Sorry, I put the butt interception as a miscellaneous play, which it wasn't. Yeah, don't get offended. It is what it is. The Jets are a laughing stock right now. Let people laugh at them. It is what it is. Don't try to fight your way out of battles you can't win. Or don't put yourself into battles you can't win, I guess. So we should always try to fight out of a battle. You don't want to just give up and die. That wasn't the right analogy. Off the edge right here against the right tackle. Wide and split, which should alert something to the defense. So this wide and split, you're going to think that he's going to try to insert into this gap, which he does. This should tip you off. That's a lot of room. And just thought about that now. He does. Phillips attacks that widened gap, that extended split, hands inside, finds the running back, again, attacks that widened split. Running back tries to cut it back right into Phillips. So good job right there. That's it for the miscellaneous plays, for all that crap. Don't have any other. For the Bills game, I am done doing those reviews. Well, maybe, but for now, I am. For this week, I am. Bills game, I put good luck. Roster, I put it's good. I'm not going through the roster. We know the roster. Josh Allen, the team has come back a little bit down to earth. Even though people like Bills fans are freaking out, they've lost to the Titans, who are 5-0 or whatever they are, 6-0, 5-1, whatever they are. I think they're undefeated, so I think they're 5-0. And the Chiefs, who are going to probably go to the Super Bowl again. So they're still a good team. Lost 2 in a row, are pissed off, are going to come and take it on the Jets. Most likely. Jets injuries. It sounds like a lot of guys can come back. Sabo, again, who's an accredited media member. There's some people out there who say they're accredited media members, or they were, or they are, whether it be, I'm not calling anybody out. I love Jet Nation. I used to go. I was not accredited media member. It's the credited guys are the guys who could go in and ask questions to the coaches and the GM and the owner and all that stuff. I was allowed in on private practice and stuff like that, but I wasn't an accredited media member. Sabo is, which is a positive of Jets X Factor. You get that. He's actually able to ask the coach questions, be in there for those interviews, not just go to private practices. But it sounds like, and he said that it's, Mims was practicing with the first team today. Darnold was practicing with the first team today. So Mims might be back this week, which is exciting. Is Peanut, Patrick Onuwasor ever going to come back? It's supposed to be week 7. And he's just gone. Like, is he taking CJ Moses' advice and like, screw it, I'm just going to milk this injury? Is Darnold going to be back? Becton back? I don't know, but let's see. It sounds like Mims, Darnold, Becton might be back. So that's exciting if they are. Is Lewis out? I'm not too sure. I think he got injured this game. I'm not sure how long it is. My how to win, I put ha again. My score prediction is Bills 31, Jets 10. Prove me wrong. This last week in the pick'ems, for the people who are in the pick'ems, if you do not, you might click off at this point. You don't care. Maybe not have clicked off or not even watch the show. Whatever. The Dolphins beat the Jets 24-0. The Giants beat the Redskins 20-19. Or let's say I'll go like this. I always start this off. I picked the Dolphins. They beat the Jets 24-0. I picked the Giants. They beat the Redskins 20-19. I pick the Steelers, who beat the Browns, and they whooped them 38-7. I pick the Falcons. The Vikings beat the Falcons. Or no, sorry. I pick the Vikings. The Falcons beat the Vikings 40-23. I picked the Lions. They beat the Jaguars 34-16. I picked the Panthers. They were beat 23-16 by the Bears. I picked the Packers, and they got their asses whooped by the Bucs 38-10. I picked the Chiefs, as a lot of other people did. I think everybody else did. And they beat the Bills 26-17. I picked the Cowboys, and they too got their asses whooped 38-10. This week we have 7 games. Am I counting right? Oh crap! I didn't even do my picks. Or I didn't do all my picks. Okay. Thursday night, the 1-5 Giants at the 1-4-1 Eagles. The Eagles competing a little bit more the last couple of weeks, especially teams like the Ravens, etc. The Steelers, I think they're getting a little bit more on track. I'm going to pick the Steelers. I would want the Giants to win because the Giants are above the Eagles in terms of standings, or not standings. They are lower than the Giants in the standings for the first pick for the Tankathon. So any team with one win, I want them to win. But I think the Eagles are a better team than Giants. I think they're starting to round out a little bit. Sunday, 1 o'clock, I wish this was the night game. The 5-0 Steelers at the 5-0 Titans. This is a hard one to pick. I just think the Titans rely a lot on their run game, and the Steelers' run defense is really, really good because their defensive front is really, really good. I'm going with my gut here. I'm going with the Steelers on the road in Tennessee. The next game, which is usually the first game, but I just did it weird this time. The 4-2 Bills at the 0-6 Jets. The Bills are going to win. Everybody's going to pick the Bills. The 2-3 Lions at the 1-5 Falcons. By the way, these are all 1 o'clock games. This is an interesting game. This was one, I think I should pick the Lions, but I'm going to pick the Falcons. The Falcons are in that territory. Okay, they fired their head coach. They came out with more energy last week. They whooped the the Vikings' ass. Are they going to ride that hot streak? I have a feeling they're not a hot streak. I have a feeling they're gonna win though. So I'm gonna pick the Falcons. Sunday 4 o'clock game. Good game. I think overall in terms of pick'ems. The 3-3 49ers at the 2-3 Pats. The Pats were just beat last week, I think relatively badly. The 49ers beat the Rams pretty handily. Do the Niners continue to rise while the Pats fall, or do the Pats do what the Pats do? They get embarrassed and then they bounce back in a big way. I'm gonna pick the Pats. I don't feel great about that pick. That's a hard one, but I'm picking the Pats. The 2 games I did not pick, the 2 night games. Damn, this is okay. The 4-2 Bucks at the 3-2 Raiders. Are the Raiders really only 3-2? Yeah, I guess they had a bye week. I'm picking the Bucks in this one. The Bucks just blew out the freaking Packers, and their defense is really good. Topple's a good defensive coordinator. I don't think he's a great head coach. I'm picking the Bucks. Monday night. Oh, this one's really weird and hard. It's a weird comment. Weird and hard. All right. Monday night, 5-1 Bears at the 4-2 Rams. The Rams are just beat bad by the Niners. The Rams are beat bad by the Niners. The Bears are they the most overrated 5-1 team? Oh, I don't like this one. I am going to go with the Rams. Rams. I don't feel great. That's a weird one. Okay. Standings. We have first place who's pulling away a little bit, not a tiny bit, but Danny 23-8. We have Kyle second place 21-10. We have a 3-way tie for third between myself, Vinny and Marcus at 18 and 13 in fourth place, but really is sixth place. We have sixth place and seventh place, which is you get it. Sixth and seventh place tied for last place is actually I lied. So you have a three-way tie for third, so it's third, fourth, fifth. No, that was third, fourth, fifth. Sixth place. I don't know. Do we have six or eight? Whatever. The next guy down is Matt at 16 and 15. And then you have a two-way tie for last place, which is Tom and Rob at 15 and 16. I screwed that up so badly trying to read that. How many guys do we have? So we have, hold on. I'm gonna do this now because it's going to annoy me. You have first place. You have second place. You have third, fourth, fifth. Okay, sixth, seventh, eighth. Okay, so we do have eight guys. Yeah, so I was saying it kind of right, but you get the point. I effed that up royally. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hopefully we get, watching Mims and Darnold is going to be a lot, and P. Ryan, and hopefully Zuniga and Davis gets a little more snaps. It's going to be a lot more exciting. Let's just be honest, even just Mims and Darnold is going to be a lot more exciting than Flacco handing off to Frank Gore on 2nd and 24. So let's hope to see that. Don't get too drunk this weekend watching the Jets games that we suffer through it with. And I'll see you back next Wednesday, Thursday, or whenever I'm able to get the show out. Thanks for listening. Drop those ratings. I'll talk to you guys soon.